Hey, may I help you?
Yeah, this is kind of neat. What is it?
Oh, it's from New Guinea. It's a ceremonial spirit box.
Wow, that's cool. What do you do with it?
You put your weed in there.
Oh, thank you.
This is neat. Is this from South America?
You bet. That's a Yanomami ancestor idol from Brazil. It's carved from deer bone. They only make one every 7 years. It's really rare.
What do you use it for?
You put your weed in here.
Okay.
No problem.
Where's this from?
Oh, it's from Borneo. It's for a Sulawesi puberty ritual. It symbolizes the journey into adulthood.
Really?
Yeah, and you put your weed in here.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers, by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the real green Monsta, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We are busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with Autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered Autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code CULTIVATION on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How are you tonight? Today, Monsta, you are muted, my friend.
Hello, my darlings.
Yo.
There we go.
What up?
I did tell Cap before show that I'm a little bit medicated tonight.
Extra medicated, man. What? So, why don't you tell our guests in G3 the story?
So somebody gave me some live rosin capsules a while back. They claim they're like 30 milligrams. They're definitely not.
Think more, less?
Definitely more because they fucking got me lifted. I only ate like two or three of them. Even if I ate three, it's like less than 100 milligrams supposedly. But yeah, they got me feeling good. Amen.
Right on, man. Well, yeah, dude, those edibles will get you. They will. Especially a nice dose like that, man. That shit. It's like eating 2 bags of those 50 milligram gummies about.
It's a little roulette-ish for my tastes, honestly. You'd never really know what you're gonna get.
I could agree with that.
You can go in and they can say, oh, this is 10 milligrams, this is 50 milligrams, this is 100 milligrams. And maybe it is, but maybe it isn't.
Yeah.
Now, do you think because it's live rosin that it like has any effect on the quality of it, the taste? Like,
Well, I mean, they were just in gel capsules, so I don't taste anything. But
yeah.
I don't know.
No, it wasn't a suppository.
No, I mean, I'm sure you probably could try it. Yeah,
I mean, shit. I bet you it'd get you even more fucked up that way.
I
yeah.
wonder if it's got to be different, right? So, like, every way you consume, I guess, cannabis kind of affects you a little differently, right? Topically feels a little different than smoking flower, feels a little different than dabbing,
Yeah.
feels a little different than edibles. So,
I can tell you that like, the live raw is harder than like distillate because I eat a lot of distillate edibles all the time, at like hundreds of milligrams, and it doesn't affect me like the live rosin ones.
It's that full spectrum effect, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting all of
whole
the plant.
rainbow.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole rainbow.
Yeah.
It's true, you know, like any isolate, any distillate, like, you know, the CO2 carts are they're the main culprit, you know
And
what
it
I
has
mean?
nothing to do with the terpenes, honestly. I think it has more
No.
to do with the cannabinoids. Because I don't think your body can really do anything with the terpenes. Like that's all the smell of them and all that. Like that can be a benefit, but I don't think internally they have any effect. Could be wrong.
You don't think the terps have an effect on the high?
No, not edibly. I think even Alabrije told us that.
Yeah, no, edibly, okay. I mean, you know, that's the qualifier. That makes
Correct.
sense. Because definitely, like, smoking it, I feel like they definitely do.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, eating it for sure.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. That's cool. So, what are you smoking on?
Myself, some lemon cava out of the bong.
Nice. The cava.
Yeah.
Classic, man. You know, what I wanted to say that the CO2 carts, they're like, I compared them the other day to they're like the hot dogs of cannabis. You know what I mean? They're like, you can take like a subpar product. They're not like the prime cuts of cannabis. You know what I mean? You're getting like feet and intestines type stuff. Like that's what you get in your hot dogs. Put a little like extra terpenes in there for some spice and flavor, and boom, you got your CO2 carts. So, you know, they'll still like fill an empty stomach though. You know, I'm not saying I don't eat hot dogs. I mean, shit. Carts do the trick, man. If you're in a pinch, shit. But
Man cannot survive on hot dogs alone.
no.
Not for long anyway.
Need a much more balanced diet for sure. In the same way that I would say you need a more full spectrum cannabis in your diet.
Agreed.
Well, yeah. What you got tonight, G3?
I don't remember. It's either Funky Magnifier or Old School Mango Haze. It's
She's
one of the
a
two.
little extra medicated too.
I don't know.
I just grabbed a couple off the counter, and I'm not sure what they are.
So one of those mango babies. One of those two.
One of those two. Yeah. One of the two mango
Cool.
babies.
Cool.
It's almost always the mango baby, honestly.
I mean, it's like all you grew last round, pretty much. So.
Pretty much.
And you got, the
I
ones.
like me a good mango. It works.
Yeah, when you know what works and you know what you like, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
I have to say, it's been a little while since I've grown original Mango Smile, and I miss her. So
Bring it
I'm
back.
actually growing two right now, but they're not going to make it all the way through. Sorry.
Wait. Why?
They have a
Why?
death sentence. I know. Can you
Oh,
believe
gosh.
it? I have to kill two Mango Smiles. But they're going to be boys when I do it, so I don't care.
Mango Smile. You planted Mango Smile regs?
No,
She's reversing?
I'm going to reverse them
Oh my god.
and collect pollen, because I had just enough time to fuck around and find out before the Your Average Grow Night Owl Grow Along starts on December 21st.
So how'd that work out for you?
Well, it hasn't really yet.
So
Okay.
I got to start. They're on day 8 or something like that. So I'm gonna start BGG says I can start spraying them around day 10. So we're
Good,
gonna
thank
do
you.
that and just
He
do
doesn't
it.
know anything.
So, G3, you're committing
Shout out to my boy.
androcide.
Yeah.
You're committing androcide. I must say.
Androcide. What's
You're-
andro? What's the prefix andro?
exclusive killing of only the boys
Oh.
for hate reasons. You're full of hate.
I wouldn't say it's
your
for
heart.
hate reasons.
Well, then
I would
please.
say it's because they're
Why?
unnecessary.
Enlighten us.
It's because I don't hate them. They're just unnecessary. I don't need them once I get what I need from them.
Oh God, this is getting good. And what exactly do you need from them, G3?
I need that mango
Just to be
smile
specific.
pollen.
Gotcha. She's like someone in the chat said it first. She's like a praying mantis, guys. Watch out.
Black
Watch
widow.
out. Who is that? Well, I don't see it anymore. I don't see this. Oh, there he is, growing the mitten. There you go. Shout out, buddy. Like a praying mantis. So once you get that plant sperm, you just kill the men and you don't think twice about it.
What do I need with them
yeah.
after that?
Get
What's the
that
point in keeping them around? Bunch of loafers. Can't do anything else for me. Get a fucking job.
I mean, listen, I do the same thing.
Give me that
commit, you know.
that nut. Give me that nut. Go
So,
on.
except I'm not taking
Right.
I'm not taking the plant sperm first. I'm a little more just, relaxed about it. Man. So this is all right. So you're doing a reversal project with some mango babies, right? Mm-hmm. I guess that's the gist of what's going on here.
That's the gist.
What are your plans as far as the what are you going to inseminate?
I don't know yet. This is kind of a
Anything and everything.
kind of like, yeah, kind of. I'm gonna figure out how to do it.
Man, this is-
just
Wow.
fuck around and find out.
Brutal.
I had just
Brutal
enough time
shit.
to do this. I couldn't grow a whole plant at the time. I needed to have something to do. This seemed like a good idea.
There's some fucking weirdo
It literally made
listening.
it happen in like 2 days.
Capture a nut and fucking just throwing it everywhere.
I know. There's someone out there listening right now, like spanking it. You just know it. Like, oh yeah.
Oh, goodness. I mean, if that's what gets your jollies.
Amen.
Take my nut, G3, and then kill me right away.
I mean, at the end, I do the same thing to the girls. It just happens to be that what I need from them happens at the end of their life cycle. What I need from the
Truth.
boys happens a lot earlier.
Truth.
That's
You
not
know
my
what?
fault.
Alright,
That's
so-
nature.
She's just keeping it real, man.
She's keeping it 100. I look at it as more of like, I try to be more like when I killed 7 female plants, right? When I committed, what would we call that when you kill only the women? If it's androcide, would it be like Google? No, I know that's a bad femicide. That's a bad Google search to have in my history.
That makes sense.
Killing only women.
Yeah. Next
Please-
thing you know,
please
there's like
delete
an
that
only
from my
woman
history.
serial killer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Unless it's your mother
femicide.
plant, and then it's matricide, right?
yeah. Man. So yeah, I killed all my female plants, but I look at it as more of like you've served your purpose. Like you've done what your intent on this planet was.
Yeah,
And it,
congratulations.
and then I guess it's just a gussied up way of just saying like you've given me what I needed from you. Now it's time for death.
Do you thank them?
I do. I still do.
I think that's important.
Like
Not really.
even like out loud, I say,
Yes,
I say thank
absolutely.
and then
Absolutely.
I kill them swiftly in their sleep, as you
their
recommended. Yeah, I did the 48 hours darkness. Wait. Do I want to mention what I'm smoking on? Yeah, let's do it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
still there.
please do.
I got what's left of my Blue Zeroso. I am like, I'm running on fumes. So I timed this harvest perfectly. It's all going to work out. My jars are going to be empty and then washed, and then I can fill them back up. It's going to be
Brilliant.
awesome.
Perfectly timed.
Yeah, really. I don't know how that all worked out, truly, but couldn't have been better timing. But yeah, what was I talking about before that? Killing all the women.
What are you smoking on?
Harvesting your girls.
Harvesting my girls. Yes. It was 69 days in the flower. 69. And they were, like we said, first little hint of amber. I didn't want to push them too much. I don't want to see like any nanners or foxtails too much.
Yeah.
And I think as we mentioned on the last show, it's all about preserving them terps and getting the best possible smoke. So harvest a little early. I was planning on pushing them to like 75, 77 days, so a little earlier than I had anticipated, which is fine.
You're running short on time anyway, right?
Say again?
You're running short on time anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going on vacay in 2 weeks, so it's we're running out of time. Exactly. I'm out of time. And now I got them hanging in the tent, 60-60. Like this time of year is great for drying, really for doing anything in the garden, because you're working with cool air as like it's already cool in your lung room, and you can suck that into the tent. It's usually cool and dry.
And dry, especially in our area.
Yeah.
Oh, thank the goddess.
And it's so perfect for us, G3. I mean, really, like the air in my basement is like a perfect 60 degrees, and I think it's at a constant like 38 to 42% humidity, which is fine. If the tent's filling up with the humidity, the plants are off gassing all that stuff, filling it up with moisture. And as my AC infinity meter hits that threshold of 60%, the exhaust fan kicks on and brings in that cool, dry air. It's fucking perfect. I don't have to do anything.
A perfect machine.
It really is. Really is. I mean, it works just as great, if you have a light on and you're actively growing, you're generating heat too. So you can get rid of that, bring in the cool stuff. Don't need AC, don't need a DHU. Man, I love this time of year. And I get to drink
Everything else about it absolutely sucks. The growing part.
Oh man, no, I love this time of year,
this time
G3.
Of year. I hate it. It makes me want to die.
Really?
I hate it.
Well, just because it gets dark at 4:30. I mean, that sucks.
I can't handle it. I can't. I just can't.
The reason why it
can't
sucks
handle
is
the
because
darkness.
darkness comes way too quick. Like you look, it's light out, and next thing you know, you go to the bathroom, you come out, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
I know. It happens like boom. You close your eyes and it's dark.
And I don't like being cold. I do not enjoy it. And Pennsylvania at this time of year is cold. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, sorry, I don't.
I hear you. I mean, I've always I run hot. I'm like in the summertime, always uncomfortable. I'm like sweating. I can always put more stuff on in the wintertime to keep me warm. It's beautiful. But yeah, Big Green Guy said it. If you want to fight off that seasonal depression, that lack of vitamin D, I strongly recommend you go up in your garden, spend a little more time with your plants.
Make sure to use protective eyewear.
Yeah, wear your glasses.
Wear your glasses, please.
Depends. If you have UVB in your lights too, you might even want to put on sunscreen. Most people don't have that though, so don't worry about it. But yeah, go hang out under your grow lights, man. It's good for you as much as it is for your plants, especially this time of year.
Yep, go read them a book or something. Talk to them, tell them your problems.
There you
They'll
go.
love to listen. You'll feel better afterwards.
You do. You usually do.
Yeah, it's free therapy. Plant therapy.
Plant therapy. I like it. Where's
It's
my
the
bong?
newest, trendiest thing. Grow plant.
Dude, where's my bong?
That's definitely a movie I could see myself starring in. I've asked myself that question a lot. So yeah, what, harvesting, guys, harvesting and drying. That's where my mind is tonight. I kind of want to like pick your brains, come to a consensus as we tend to, and guide all the listeners and noobs and even experienced growers alike who might learn a thing or two about, the ins and outs of how we do it. Yeah. What are your guys' like standard operating harvest practices?
Well, kill them in their sleep, definitely.
Besides kill them in your sleep,
Besides
for
that.
sure. Well, we're talking, I guess, post-harvest, So we've already killed them in their sleep. That was last episode, which, by the way, will be called Kill Them in Their Sleep.
I prefer to hang as a whole plant.
Great.
But if I know that I'm running into some environmental issues where bud rot might be an issue, that's the first thing I'll do, is I'll chop it into pieces first.
Now,
to combat potential bud rot in the dry period.
When would you be worried about that? Like what signals are you looking for there?
Gigantic, huge donkey dick colas. They scare the shit out of me. They should scare the shit out of you. Like, those things just are asking for it if you don't have your environment absolutely perfect and just enough airflow so that things move, but not too much that it dries too quickly. It's just such a very specific balance that must be maintained. So, being where I am, I have been bitten more times than I can count with the bud rot bug, and I don't want to risk that ever again.
Have you ever had it happen to you, though, like after you've harvested? Like there wasn't a problem, but then it happened during the dry?
Once, yes, at the very beginning. But that was before I was really like well-tuned in noticing like the very minute details that you can first tell when you have bud rot. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, like, you can tell the difference between a trichome and like a tiny little filament of molds. You can, once you get a trained eye for it.
You can.
And in this area, we have a trained eye. It sucks to do,
You know,
though. I
there's
hate it.
even a couple like other like signs I think of bud rot in a flower would be like leaves around that bud just being very brown, very wilted in comparison to other buds on that plant,
Right. Especially at the closest to the stem, because bud rot happens on the insides of the buds first. It grows from the inside out. So if you've got like, crispy, burnt leaves on the outside, but the part of the leaf closest to the bud is still greenish and healthy, that's not anything you really need to worry about.
Yeah,
when the whole leaf is dead, you should be worried.
Yeah. If those, like, I think I called them thumb leaves on an episode, like the leaves that stick out of your bud. If those are like looking no bueno, then there might be a problem. You're going to want to like look inside those buds for sure.
Thumb leaves.
Yeah, thumb. I don't know why I call them that. They look like thumbs just sticking out of your buds, But yeah, no, that's not getting bud rot during the dry.
Is
number one.
I mean, bud rot in general is my number one fear, just because of my
kind of
environment in general, or any type of mold. That's just because my environment, like, pests are not really too much of an issue. I've had to deal with them once or twice, but like, this is a chronic thing if I'm not on top of it. So I just take extra precaution when I know it's kind of like, hey, throwing some red flags over here. Like purple Pantarania, so gorgeous. I wish I could have taken a little more time to dry her, but she was 6 inches across at the base. That's crazy.
What, like the whole bud was?
The whole bud was at least 6 inches across. Huge.
Man, that's just
and
girth
I just
we're talking.
Couldn't risk it. Couldn't.
No.
So,
no.
Must.
I think if you you can definitely develop bud rot post harvest if it wasn't there to begin with. But
Sure.
I think in most cases it's something that you had, and it just, whether it was due to stale air, too high humidity. Sometimes it's just as simple as man, I always make sure that my plants are not touching each other while they're hanging in the tent too. Because if you got buds overlapping, you got, little moisture pockets that are not evaporating in the same manner as the rest of them. So that's one thing I'm very conscious of. Always
So how
want to
do
have a
you-
little space in between the plants.
Keeping that in mind, how many plants did you harvest just now? How many girls can you know?
7 plus. I have a little auto in there too.
Oh my God. And
let's
these were
see, can I
gigantic, huge,
show you a
monstrous
picture?
girls.
Yeah, and they're
How
all.
are you drying them?
They are all in a
without-
3x3.
Excuse me?
Correct. Now, I will bring it up. Let me see here. I just took a picture before the show because I had a feeling you might ask.
Yeah. Inquiring minds want to know.
If you layer them right, I
sure.
can see how you got them in there.
No, I don't layer. It's really just when you hang them whole and upside down, right? Then we. Hold on, bear with me. You hang them whole and upside down, so they kind of collapse then on, just use gravity. And they don't need much space in between them. You just need to make sure they're not touching. And instead of the plants fighting gravity, they're just kind of going with it and getting narrow and hanging out, as it were.
Yeah, and then after a day or two, they shrink a lot.
Yeah, well, they shrink width wide for sure. For sure. This is 2 days post harvest. You can already see the leaves are a bit wilted, and they've maybe narrowed out a little bit, and they certainly will do that more. I don't know if you can see the auto that's up in the top right corner, just in between the gaps of the stems of the that. Just making sure it's not touching anything.
And it's kind of an art to balance everything perfectly, so everything doesn't touch.
Yep. Now, and I just use regular coat hangers, for the whole plants, okay? And I did, let's see, 4 of the 7 I did whole plants. But I'm going to try a re-veg a little bit. I just want to see if it'll work. I'm experimenting.
You're going to try
a
a
little bit.
re-veg? Wait.
With 3 of them, yeah. So I cut
You're
off
leaving, though. Are you
Yeah,
just
I know,
gonna,
I know.
throw them in the autopots and say good luck?
pretty much. I'm just
All right.
experimenting. I may not even. I might just put them by a fucking window while I'm gone. I might take them
Wow.
out of the tent, turn the grow light off. I don't know. We'll see.
For the 3 hours of sun we get in Pennsylvania winter.
Yeah, right.
They're going to
No,
love
they'll
that.
be suffering from seasonal depression by the time they get back. But
Aren't we all?
no, maybe I will just. I don't know. I wanted to try it and just see how much I could cut off on some plants, and then I left a bunch more on another, just to see how what can you get away with as far as how little do you need to re-veg a plant, I thought that was kind of an interesting experiment. But anyway, back to
Definitely
the-
more than window light in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I don't think
At this
that would
time
work
of the year.
at all, for sure. But I used, for those plants that I did want to re-veg, I cut the big branches off, and I kind of left a bit more of the stems and the stalk and some greenery around. So I was cutting off branch by branch. I don't know if you can see then these 3 hangers with the black fabric across them.
Yep.
Those are they're hat hangers. Just buy them from Amazon. They have
Oh, really? I mean,
little
I would have
clips.
thought those are weed hangers.
You motherfucker. Well, but we could market him as that and charge 3 times as much to the cannabis growers. What do you say?
I like it. I'm down.
All right. We'll call him Canna Clips.
Yeah.
Canna Clips.
Okay, there you go.
Like it.
No, they're just fucking hat hangers. They work great.
The
for
captain's meat hooks.
hanging. Yeah, basically my custom meat hooks. But yeah, that's how I do it. G3. All I need is a 3x3, and now that is maxed out. I will say, I don't think I could fit any more plants in there. So
I'm surprised you fit so many, to tell you the truth. They collapsed nicely.
I am too. Yeah, right. But yeah, I'm just cruising through the dry. Like I said, perfect conditions. Every time I go down there, it's like 62 Fahrenheit, 60% humidity, and the fan's on, just bringing in that dry air. Beautiful thing, man.
Wonderful. How do they smell?
Intense. Like I can, I have a carbon filter attached to the exhaust fan of that tent, of course, and they're down in the basement. I can still smell my garden from like down the street if the wind is just right. And I'm looking for it. Like it's in there. I'm like,
There's nothing like the smell of fresh cannabis.
there isn't, man. I mean, I love it. It is a strong smell though. When I trim these, I am worried about, the whole house, the whole fucking neighborhood just being like, man, someone is having a party. So I think, we've mentioned a couple tricks there, like the cooking bacon, burning bacon.
Burnt popcorn.
Yeah, burnt popcorn. That's a good.
Oh gosh,
That's a
that's
good
one of
one.
the worst smells on the planet.
It's
Burnt
terrible, but
popcorn.
it'll work.
How about burnt hair?
That's even
How
worse.
would you easily do that?
I don't know. Light your hair on fire.
Come here,
Just
G.
a little bit. Just cut some off. Just a little bit. Just cut a little bit off, little snip, and then just light it on fire. Burnt hair. It's a bad fucking smell, though.
Boogie boogie.
Bad
There's
fucking
got to be a
smell.
better option than that. Don't
I
do
think
that
there
one.
are. I think we've mentioned the Oni or Ani. What is it? Those like smell tabs.
Oh, Oni gel.
Oni gel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
grab
it
a
works.
couple of them. Or maybe I'll just bring my carbon filter from the tent down into the living room and just keep on recirculating the air through the carbon filter all day.
It can't hurt.
Can't hurt.
So, no. So, when I get ready to harvest, if it's going into a dry room, I mean, sometimes you're throwing into bags because you want to make fresh frozen. So you got to get it right into the freezer right away. You cut it down, bag it up into a freezer. Dry room, I actually, the couple hours before, I'll set the thing to continuous to get it, the humidity as low as I possibly can. Because when you put those plants in there, I promise you it's going to be way more than 60%. The humidity's popping on those things first couple days.
Yeah.
So I try to give the room, a fighting chance and crank as low as I can go. Usually within an hour or two, it's already way past 60%. And then it'll level down a little bit, but at least you've given it a little bit of a start by putting it in as low of humidity as possible to start with.
Where's your
And then
yellow
low-
and red flags as far as humidity goes?
If I see that shit hit 70% or more, I'm starting to get a little worried. For mold, at least for long periods at a time. Like you might see that the first time you put it in, but like if the next day I come there and I see that, I'm not gonna be happy at all. Something's wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even like over 65 when I'm drying. Just because there's a lot less airflow. When we're drying, we don't want any direct airflow on the buds. I always want a tent, or I always want a fan in my tent underneath of the plants, like even pointed like at the floor. It's like it's just like circulating air.
Circulating air, yeah, just movement
It's
inside
just
it.
to keep it moving, yeah. And it's like,
And just look at the plants. If you see them moving at all from the wind, you know that it's too much. You don't want them getting direct wind contact.
for sure. And then, like magic, how long you think it takes depends. I mean, it depends on the thickness of your buds. It depends on a lot of different factors. But I'd say if you control your environment and you keep it as close to 60-60, it should take like 10 to 14 days for you to get that, I would say, perfect jarring conditions from that point.
Yeah, I usually have to turn the humidity down a little bit more and the temperature up. Because 60-60 will still be a little bit moist, at least the last half a day or so.
Last couple days, what would you turn the humidity down to? Like 55, a little lower even?
No lower than that, like maybe 52, 55.
Okay.
And then the temp to like 65, 66. Otherwise, honestly, at 60-60, you can leave it there almost indefinitely. It's really moist at that point. You want to turn it down for a little bit at the last bit of, right before you're ready to bucket it up or jar it up.
Yeah, I feel that 60 is pretty moist.
Right, because it's also 60 in open conditions with air movement. And you take that same plant and you put it in a jar with no air movement at all. That's suddenly not going to be 60 anymore.
Facts.
Yeah, right. It's true. Yeah, so, the drying process, as we have mentioned many times, Monsta always likes to remind you guys. What do you say, Monsta?
Don't fuck up the dry. It's more important than the grow.
That's what he says. It really is, guys. Like, it's that you can. It's give me a. Dude, I forget you're saying. It's like you could give me like the most fireweed and I could fuck it up in the dry, or I could get like mids and dry it perfectly and it would be way better than that, Yeah. It's something 100%. Like that.
Because people only care about the flavor when they're, smoking weed. Like, that's what's going to stand out above the rest of the bullshit that people are putting out there.
Oh, yeah. And like the dry is when like all those terps that you've worked so hard for, that you've cultivated the whole time in those beautiful flowers, they're just evaporating. They're just disappearing into the wind. Like that is not what we want. It's not what we want. Like, we want them in there. We want to seal them up in the jar, and like when we crack that flower, it's all right there. That's all in the dry, guys. Like, it really is. And listen, I know we say 60-60. And this time of year, yeah, it's pretty fucking easy to get close to that, as close as we can. But in the summertime, like, I've dried in the summertime. I've dried in less than ideal conditions. I've gotten temps up to like 70, 72, at times even higher, 75. God forbid. You know what I mean? Like, guys, like, the point is, we want to try to keep it as cool as possible. Like, if you go down in your tent and it's over 70 degrees down there in your dry tent, it doesn't mean your flower's fucked up. It really doesn't. Like, some people prefer to dry at 70. I mean, I think 60-60 is pushing it for a lot of people. Like Monsta said,
it's all a learning process. How are you gonna know? Go ahead.
It doesn't really get like moist fully, but yeah, you're right. It's a learning process, and you'll figure out what works best for you and your environment.
Right. How are you gonna know what weed dried at 70, looks and feels and tastes like unless you do it?
right? So fuck around and find out.
There you go.
But, like, the point is, we want to try to take it slow. We want to. The point is preserving the terps, and in too high a temperatures, you are actually like volatilizing those terps, in the same way that like lighting the bowl and smoking that shit would.
And that's what it's all about.
You're getting
We're trying to preserve the flavor.
Preserve the flavor for when you do actually light it. And if you get too high up there in temps, those most volatile terps are already gone. It's the shame of it.
Hard to preserve your own work. Gosh, you did so much hard work. Just don't. It's so easy to preserve it at the end.
It is. If you just try, just try a little bit. I have faith. I have faith in all you guys.
A little
I really
effort
do.
goes a long way.
Now, if we're ballers and we can afford a fucking freeze dryer, that just eliminates a lot of the headache with some of this process. If we're extract makers, shit. The drying is, we just kind of skip that whole part. Just throw that shit right in the freezer. Don't even worry. Like, terps ain't going nowhere. Flash freezing them.
It is a lot easier. You don't have to worry about it like that, right?
I wish there was a way to kind of achieve the same thing, but like with actually drying them too. And that's what this whole low and slow process is trying to do. But you're still losing shit. You're still losing terps, no matter what. Even slowly dried flower, I always find it doesn't smell like live flower.
No.
Nothing smells like that live flower.
There's a reason why live rosin's made with fresh flour when it's not dried at all. It's fresh, frozen. That's it.
That's
Because it
fresh.
continues to degrade over time, unless you dry it immediately. It continues to degrade. Just the nature of decay.
Yeah, right. I just wish there was just like a flash drying process.
What about that super?
I've seen people
expensive
freeze dry the
wine
weed.
fridge.
Oh, the Canatrol.
Yeah.
No, that's more of a curing thing, I think. Honestly,
No, you can dry it.
can you dry and
thought
cure?
it dried it.
All right, I have no idea. It could. What about the herbs now? Is that like a flash dryer?
Yeah, it works.
Does it?
Somewhat.
Yeah, it's not going to be your best experience, but according to him, it will be. But
Even terpier than 6060, according to the inventor of the product.
yeah, but he's a fucking tool.
Oh, Monsta, be nice now. Be nice, Monsta.
Snap-on tool.
I don't know him from fucking
Even
Dick
my
or
dog,
Sally.
my dog's downstairs. She's barking right now. She knows.
Zelda's
Feeling the
barking.
vibes.
Yeah, I don't know why she's
Hey,
barking.
that fucking herbs now guy.
And she never barks either, so something's going on.
Well, I don't think you need to take shortcuts, guys. We've come this far in our grow. We've done all the things we need to do to get to this point. Just take another step. Set up a dry, keep it there. You got to have another tent for this stuff. Typically, I find, it's best done not in the room you grow in case you want to keep plants growing, Got to keep that room warm. You want a colder, dry room. So, I don't know, guys. Just don't fuck it up, as Monsta said. Do not
Yeah,
fuck
you're
it
gonna
up.
spend all that time growing the plant, energy, and then to fuck it up and smoke hay, dude. Because I'm not gonna lie, most of the time when people hand me shit, I'm disappointed that it doesn't have much flavor, and it'll look good too, and I'm just like, oh man, this is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, man. Flavor is what separates, the wheat from the chaff. Anyone can grow good-looking buds.
Shit.
Flavor's tough to come by. All right, so I wanted to get into some like must have lesser thought of grow products. Things that, like, whether it's a technique, a product, a thing that you couldn't grow without, that's okay, not either autopots or microbe life hydro, which I know we would all list as like in the top of that.
I mean, that's obviously
like,
number one and two, right?
We all know, okay, how great autopots are, and how adding microbe life hydro to your autopots is just going to be a recipe for success. But aside from all that, and when you do all those things, go use code CC10 at their websites, please, and thank you. Aside from those, guys, like, all right, the thing I want to mention in this category is silica.
Ooh, good one.
Silica. It is not an essential component of your grow. Like, you can grow a plant without any silica. It will be fine.
Tell us what silica does, Cap. Why do we want to put silica into our plants?
It does a lot of shit, actually, man. So, like, one of the things people will tell you is that it strengthens the stems, like, significantly so. Okay, so it will take like a otherwise flimsy, kind of floppy branch, and it will make it strong and erect, even under all the weight of those flowers, right? And another thing people say it does is, I've seen, research, actual research that like says that it shows that it affects the trichome developments too. Like, it, in the same way that it will make like stronger branches, it makes like more strongly developed trichome heads and like bigger, more robust trichomes. I mean,
So
why
more
wouldn't
likely
it?
to get the medicine to you, less likely
Yeah.
to burst or fall off or whatever.
Yep. Or just, bigger, better trichomes.
Yeah.
And that's like, who doesn't want that? Now, I'll try to find that research. But like, I read it somewhere. I forget where it was. Probably on the Silica Makers website, right? But regardless, it's used across all different parts of agriculture, not just cannabis. Like, in some plants, it's actually a necessary, what would we say, like, element? In the same way that, like, are there 15 essential elements for cannabis growth? Is that what it is? NPK, and then it's iron, like molybdenum, and it's sulfur.
I've never counted them all.
Fucking,
Calcium.
there's a
Never
bunch. Yeah,
counted them.
calcium, and like a whole bunch of different stuff, right? And like, silica's not on that list, but for some plants it is. So it does a lot of stuff. There is a lot of actual research about what silica does for plants. So I'm organic, right? Like, I'm not buying a fucking bottle of silica. I get it from my rice hulls, which I get from the brewery that I work at. It's a beautiful synergy. And like, they also act as an aeration for my soil, but when they break down, they do turn into a form of plant available silica. Now, that's like how much and when that happens is like, fuck if I know,
From what I gather, it's really not a whole lot from rice hulls silica that way. You can get it from other stuff though, like what is it, like, what do they call it, the stone dust?
Rock
Well,
dust.
like
and stuff.
rock dust or
Yeah.
glacier dust or whatever they
Yeah.
call it.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying organically. Other than that, I'm really not sure. For organic wise.
And
I'm not the guy to ask.
I see you, Norma. You're spot on. Diatomaceous earth.
There you go. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Is a form of silica that we can add to our plants that helps with other things. It's insects. If you have fungus gnats. Now, it's not plant available. That's the thing. Like it takes time to break down. It does. Like your plants can't eat that right away. If I'm not like so like
what the fuck is MONTANAGROW? There's two people that mentioned that.
MONTANAGROW
from Build a Soil.
Let's find out, shall we? We'll learn together.
MONTANAGROW.
What would you guess it is, just based on the name? I want to say it's like
I don't know, dude, but if it's not location appropriately sourced shit, then
what is fucking Montana?
I'm gonna be disappointed. What the fuck is MONTANAGROW? That's just such a weird name for something.
MONTANAGROW.
Yeah. It's horse shit.
It just says silica amendment. Yeah, all right, here. Horse shit.
Is it horse shit as in like it doesn't work? Or is it actual horse shit? Because I don't need to go to Montana to get that.
Oh, I could find that
plenty of that
right around.
There.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think, all right, I got to make it in a fucking Chrome tab. Good Lord.
What the fuck?
It just says, MONTANAGROW, Build a Soil.
Animals. I just figured that's what MONTANAGROW would be. Probably right.
Here you go. Here's the stuff. Silica amendment. Now, I assume it's just... We'll see it. We'll read a little bit about it, see if it's like plant available. Because I believe the stuff that's plant available is like monosilic something acid. I can tell I'm not the plant scientist. Acts as a pH buffer, reduces nitrogen volatility, improves phosphorus availability.
Why the fuck is it called MONTANAGROW?
They probably harvest it from Montana, dude. They have to.
Okay, I mean, I guess.
Oh, yeah, because it's mined from a rare deposit of silicon-rich, non-crystalline volcanic tuff formed over 30 million years ago by a pyroclastic flow. Isn't that fucking beautiful?
What the
Oh my
fuck?
gosh, it's poetry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, did a poet write this fucking description? The fuck? Sounds foo-foo. Yeah, great marketing, Norman G.
Well, I mean, hey, if it's pure, it's a pure silica amendment. All right, it says 76% amorphous silicon proven to increase cell wall strength. Blah 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 blah. Again, like it's like I don't know how to quantify this stuff. It's like how much are we adding? What's the what?
I need to quantify.
5 pounds for $27.50. Like Power SI is one of the big things, and that thing costs a fortune.
Yeah, what's the stuff you'd use? Like, what's the stuff that a salt grower would use? Power SI, right?
I think Power SI is the
I just used this stuff from
#1.
why is the name escaping me? Kelpforless.com. I just buy their powdered silica. That's all I use. It's not monosilicic, it's silicic acid.
Monosilicic acid. Yeah, that's it.
I hear that's the best, but I mean, I don't know if I want to spend the money.
Well, that's the stuff. That's the only form of the silica that your plants can actually eat. Every other form has to be go through some sort of process of being broken down.
Well, I know there's the company Raw Nutrients. They make salts. Mm-hmm. If you listen to them, they have a product called Raw Silica that can be utilized by the plant. Pretty not instantaneously, but pretty quickly. So I know that the one I use is just a knockoff of that. It's from a company called Kelp for Less. If you ever want to buy cheap amendments, I would look at them. No code or anything.
Word.
They got a lot of good shit.
What's a bottle of this power size stuff go for it now?
I don't know. I mean, last time I looked at it, it was more than I wanted to spend. And then you have now you have all these different ones: Bloom, Lush.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm seeing.
You know what? Maybe we could reach out to these guys and have them on, and he could explain to me what the big
Insect
difference
control, Lush, seaweed elixir.
I know that just right off the bat, any use of silica will help with bugs. So,
okay. Well, so I mean, you know, I think people overlook silica. It's not an essential plant ingredient, and we often like. It is expensive. It is like a kind of an afterthought, but I think like, man, everyone's going to benefit from it. Whether that's even, you know, an unquantifiable small amount from just adding rice hulls to your soil mix that then break down into silica. Like I do think that I see increased, you know, stem strength, all that stuff, whether it's just whether I'm just trying to convince myself or that's what it is or not. You know, you try it yourself. You know.
Well, you'd have to do it with and without to really know. Like your plants just may look stiff, but anyway, it good. It may not have anything to do with the rice hulls.
It may not. Mm-hmm. You know, it is one thing that.
I'm not saying it does or doesn't. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
So if you want to just, you know, there you go. Play the devil's advocate. Even just, I would say those rice hulls are a thing that I wouldn't grow without because they also.
This doesn't even make any sense to this at all. Puerto Rican silica from Africa is the best.
Not that Montana stuff, huh?
I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is.
Our chat's great, man. If you're not watching the show live, you guys should be because we got some funny motherfuckers in our chat. I forget what I was even saying, guys.
Montanagrow.
Silica is a cool
Silica
thing. Yeah, try it out, and I think you'll benefit.
I'm gonna look into this Montanagrow shit. Honestly, I wonder if I can. What is it? Is it a soil amendment, or can I like feed it to my plants?
Yeah, I think it's a like in the same way that most build-a-soil products operate. I would imagine you can just like top dress with it, mix it into a soil, you know, just get it in there somehow.
Yeah, because I use silica anyway, but I mean, I'd be interested in. I mean, it seems pretty cheap.
Yeah, right. I'm definitely going to
take 5 pounds for $30.
25, 27.
Yeah.
I'll check
I bet I could get it at Mass Hydro. So
yeah. Maybe that'll help me more than just my rice hulls. But they also do, those rice hulls act as a mulch too and aeration. So they do a lot for me.
Yeah. Multi-purpose.
My rice hulls are great. The one thing I wouldn't grow without my rice hulls. That's right. Emotional support rice hulls. Episode name. I'm going to write that down. You're a genius, G3.
Thank you kindly.
Well, yeah, what do you guys got going on? What's up? What do you want to talk about?
What would I not grow without?
Yeah.
Anything in general. I would say all of my woo-woo nonsense. So that includes moss agate and moonwater and Hertz frequency playlists and keeping awesome vibes in your grow space, like slaps and totems and gifts from your friends in the community, and, you know, surround yourself with all of that positivity. Your plants will love it. So yeah, I wouldn't grow without it, but
is that why your weed gets me super high?
it's the magic.
It must be. Good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
All
good vibes, lots of love.
Plants eat good vibes too. They really do.
They do. It's been
think so.
scientifically proven over and over and over and over again.
And I think
Especially
they
in music.
reciprocate
It's
that.
so easy. Yes. You get out what you put in.
For sure.
You love and dote on these girls, and they will do the same for you.
For real though, I think I'm gonna have to check out some of this Montanagro. Johnny just sent me a picture of it. Give me some of
Yeah,
that.
what is it? What does it look
I
like?
just want to say, like, I have Montanagro. I like fucking
Montana Grove.
yeah, some Montanagro. Montana.
Montana.
I
Tony
bet you, like,
Montana Grove.
can you imagine, like, somebody in customs like open that up, and they just that dumb where they think it's like Montana. Oh, look what I found! Bag of drugs. Says it right on it. Okay. Yeah, but yeah.
Someone snorts it to check it out, and they test the potency, and it like fucking shreds their nasal passage with little silica bits, like diatomaceous earth does to fungus gnats.
Ooh,
That shit's brutal, man.
brutal.
It just tears them apart. Silica's tough. Isn't that like the most common element on planet Earth? Isn't that what, just like sand, basically?
Something like that. Yeah, I know it's something you don't want to be breathing in. Just want to mention that all you guys at the Montana Grow don't want to be breathing in silica dust.
Don't want to be breathing in soil. If you're working with anything that can turn into a dust in the air, if you drop it and it turns into a cloud, you should be wearing protective gear.
Yeah,
Save your
don't wanna
lungs.
be
That's how we
stuffing that.
medicate my sweethearts. Keep them safe.
Holy shit. Everyone says I'm right. It's just sand. Johnny says I'm right. Well, then I still need reaffirmation. All right. Hand of Malice says too.
When you get up in the morning, is that what you listen to on the drive to work, like affirmation music? You are right.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
You are the best. Yeah.
That's right.
Everyone loves you.
It's like what was that, like SNL skit? Like,
There's an affirmation.
You're
SNL
good
skit?
enough. You're smart enough, and
By
gosh
golly,
darn
people
it,
like your gosh darn it,
people
people
Oh
like
yeah.
I always have to remind myself of that for sure.
Did you know Snoop Dogg made an affirmation CD?
No.
Yeah, for kids.
Yeah,
What does
he
that
made
mean?
a kids. He made
It's like
like
a
an
song.
album, like affirmation music for children.
So, what do you need? Affirmations when you like forget to use your emotional support rice holes?
I guess. Yeah.
them-
You're the best.
Emotional breakdown.
Like I don't know. Yeah.
And you put your Snoop Dogg CD in, and it's like he's rapping Stuart
What
Smalley
hasn't that guy
verses
done at this
to you.
point? I mean, I guess he's bringing in the bag, but I mean, he's like a total
Oh,
sellout.
dude, the whole thing that he did we even mention it on the show with like the fucking like the smokeless that he
Fire
was
pit.
like giving up smoke.
As soon
I'm
as he
giving up
said
the
that,
smoke.
I was like, I know exactly what this
Oh, dude,
is.
I smelled an ad.
I
from a
assumed it
mile
was going to
away.
be like a vape product, to be honest with you.
That was my first guess too.
But yeah,
I did not
Whatever.
guess a fucking fire pit though. That was like way out of left field, man. Like,
no, but I knew it was some sort of marketing bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, all right, you're going to give up smoke, and even if you were, like, why would you announce it? Like, that's like your whole persona and like how you make money.
yeah, that's exactly.
That's like, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, you just keep on letting people think you're smoking because he's got so many hands in everything, and brands named after him and such. So yeah, that was my first thought too, man. Jesse, I was worried about the man. I thought he was like unhealthy. I thought he had some serious respiratory issue that like his doctor was like, if you keep smoking, you're gonna die.
No, I didn't think that at
It
all.
was just an ad. It was just an ad.
Yeah, just trying to pay us like fools.
these marketers have gone too far, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
expect
Is
it at
it a
this point.
genius move or is it not a genius move? Like, is it a good idea to play your customers as fools before you try and
No,
convince them
I
to
mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know
something?
if anybody takes it seriously enough. I think most people just kind of rolled their eyes.
Yeah,
At least I did.
I think so too.
I feel like
It
most
garnered a lot of
people-
attention, but that attention isn't necessarily good.
What do they say? Any publicity is good
From fuck
publicity.
the cookbook author. Yeah.
What did you say, Monsta?
From thug to cookbook author, big green guy said.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's should be like that's what his biography is going to be called.
Murder was the case that you gave me. Yeah. Okay, Snoop.
Well, I'd still hey, if we can get him on the podcast, I'd love to ask him all about it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'll give him a call tomorrow.
Anyone got to connect? But yeah, we know a cannabis show that'd love to have you on. Shit.
Yeah. Like, shit. No.
Well, yeah. No, I don't think that'll ever happen, guys. But yeah, guys. What do you have anything else you want to mention? Like products that people may not think of, things that you couldn't quite grow without. I mean, G3's got all sorts of special sauce. We can't even really quantify what's going on there.
I'm really, at this point, I'm a snob about the thickness of my tents. That's really important to me. I will never buy another tent that's thin.
You mean the canvas or
Again,
the tent
The
poles?
canvas.
We need
itself.
that just
and
cut.
the tent poles,
We're-
like AC
Just stop
Infinity
at
is
thickness. We need that audio
important.
cut. Yeah.
It's important. Yes, like I've been spoiled by the AC Infinity tent, so I don't want to grow in anything but them.
All right.
That's one of my things. I think their tents are fabulous. The poles are
Couldn't do without the
huge.
nice tent.
I know that they're gonna hold whatever I string to them. You know, those tent poles hold a lot of weight. You're asking them to hold a lot of weight. Some of these lights are massively huge.
If
And
you
then you're-
distribute it right, I mean, they can support a lot of weight, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of them
But
get
I
pretty
gotta be
big.
able to trust your tents, you
Yeah.
know?
Do you think you could do a pull up from your tent pole?
I hang on them, yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
All right. That's all I need to hear. Well,
You know, if you fall against the side of your tent, will it stay up? Will it keep you up? Will you not rip through
Probably
it?
not me. There ain't many tents that will do that.
I don't know, just think you should have something sturdy and thick. And the thickness is important too because not only is it, I mean, it helps your environment. You lose so
Yes.
much less temperature that way.
It's
You
like,
keep your temperature and humidity stable. It's just a
it's
smart
like
idea.
insulated,
Yeah.
self-insulated.
I'm sure there are probably other tents that have like similar qualities to them, but like don't cheap out on your tents. You're just going to be fighting against so much more if you cut corners in that direction.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Word. What's your can't do without that's not auto pots or microbe life hydro Monsta?
I mean,
Or underappreciated grow product or
I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say right off the bat. I don't really use a whole lot of shit. Like I'm a pretty basic grower.
right.
You know,
He's a
some
basic
compost
bitch.
piece. But like, I'm kind of a stickler for having some sort of environmental control with my exhausts primarily. So I would say that that's one thing I definitely won't grow without.
what's your like AC Infinity
Yeah,
controller?
Yep, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that one, but primarily that's probably your best option. Use code Cultivation. But no, like seriously,
that's a
like
good
if you don't, if you're just using some sort of bullshit fan and just putting on like 3 or 4 or whatever 5, and you're not having it set to only turn on when it needs to, so you're dialing in your temperature, then you're not doing it right.
It's truth. It's the truth.
And I think that's the one thing that people. I was talking about this with somebody earlier today. It's the one thing people overlook the most when it comes to growing is environment, and it's so important.
It's so
to
important.
get the best product possible. Just as it is in the dry, it's important to grow as well.
That's just kind of like, those are the finer points of growing all throughout the whole plant's life. Like if you are a true master of like controlling the environment, man, you're gonna have an easy time growing this plant, and you're gonna probably have some really great weed. That's the key to success, is environmental control. And how are you gonna work with the environment that you're in and the tools that you have to get to those right, those nice little 60 marks, like, during growth, what are we, like 80, 82 Fahrenheit, depends where we are in growth, but like, we want to match VPD. If you can just control your environment, you're going to be set, guys. Easier said than done, I know.
And each one is unique. That's one of the cool things about all of this. Your grow is so specific to you, how you grow, where you live. It's all yours.
Whether you have to add heat, take away heat. I mean, I think for most people, like we've said, your grow generates heat and humidity, and you want to bring in cool, dry air. However you can get that. For me right now,
careful about bringing it in from like outside, because that can fuck up your shit too pretty quickly. Bringing in too much like cold air in the winter.
Yeah, rule number 1, consistency.
Yeah.
True. Plants can handle a lot too, as long as as you keep it that way, where they can like learn to adapt to a certain environment, as long as it stays there.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I think those are some great, maybe underappreciated grow items. I'm sure other people have more. Mention them in our Discord. Come on over. You guys get in the chat. It's what I'm sure people will be talking about.
Yeah, what's your must-have?
Must-haves or underutilized. Like, what do people not use that you think they should? That kind of thing. Like, what do you use that you're like, man, everyone should try this? I get such great results from it. That's what I want to hear. But yeah, you want to call it a night, guys? And say bye till next
I got the dog barking downstairs. I got the cat meowing up here.
Still going on.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
That fucking Herbs Now guy really pissed her off.
Yeah, dude, he came to my house and fucking
Chill,
did
girl.
something.
Oh, did we have any more Patreons? Let me check real quick, guys. Real quick. I always want to give you guys a shout out. This fucking
We love all of our
though.
Patreons.
We do.
New and previous.
I wish I could read all your names. We'll just say G, and we'll say JJ. What's
Thank
up,
you
guys?
so much. We love you.
Welcome and thank you. And guys, yeah, we have a Patreon. Please go check it out. Support us. Go check out the Discord. That's free. It's funny. Great resource.
It's
good
fun.
time.
If you need a leak, send us a DM. It's also available on the website.
And like Monsta says, when you do your Amazon shopping, use our affiliate code, then buy whatever you need from Amazon. It helps us out a little bit. So
Yeah.
And thank you guys. Look at all, like, there's still 30 people watching us, so thank you. Well, for joining live, we appreciate that.
Really do.
Yep.
Happy holidays.
Not a show without you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, till next time, guys. Grow on, and don't get caught.